Okay, folks, we are back for the 10 o'clock hour here at the World of Wellness, the Weiner Wellness Week, March Madness, Monday, March 7th, and 10 o'clock today. This is the Dr. Kathleen Hour. Kathleen Hartford, everybody. She gets the whole hour, and she's going to come to you with a magnificent PowerPoint. I just saw a couple slides, so it looks pretty interesting. You know, Kathleen and we've done a lot of radio shows together, and she's been at a couple of our VIP events, and we've had some very interesting discussions that I think have gone well beyond the scope of just, physical wellness and into the world of, metaphysical, maybe. Okay, but she's a complete package, folks, when it comes to mind, body, spirit. And that is the key. Not just your body. You've got to encompass the whole triad. And nobody does it better than Dr. Kathleen Hartford. So without any further ado, Kath, it's all yours.
Hey, Joe, thank you, and welcome everybody. Today we're going to talk about several different things, but obviously we're going to be focusing on biochemistry. So as Joe said, I really integrate the whole package. I do believe we are spiritual beings having a human experience. The best way to have that experience is to balance the other four aspects of health, which would be your biochemistry, what we're going to talk about today, your emotions, your bioenergetics, and by that I mean what's coming out of your cell phone, what are the waves that we're walking through. It's like a soup of 5G. And then, of course, we want to look at your neurology. How well is your body communicating with every cell, tissue, and organ? But today we're really going to focus on the biochemistry. And as we focus on the biochemistry, you're going to very clearly see how the other aspects come into play. So, a lot of people will come to myself or other practitioners and say, we're just coming out of winter, we're going into spring, I really want to lose 5, 10, 15 pounds. And what I'm telling you is to do that is really to pay it forward in healthy choices. So we're going to talk about eating, exercise, energy, and we're going to talk about how it affects your metabolic rate. And some of that might be related to your cellular genetics. So here's what we want to look at. We want to look at, guys, all right? It's there for energy, vitality, and health. Your food is your fuel, but it's also an information system. It's giving information to every cell, tissue, and organ in your body. I had my cup of coffee this morning. That cup of coffee communicated with my adrenal gland and said, whoa, she wants more energy and she wants it right now. So that was a very clear communication. If I'd had a donut with that, heaven forbid, then, my insulin would be told, oh, you've got to increase. There's all kinds of sugar in the system. So my pancreas would immediately pumping out sugar. And we know when we do that for a long period of time, we end up with something called type 2 diabetes. So it's important to understand everything is information. The glycemic index is going to actually be the communicator as far as how much insulin is released. When we're looking at physical activity, when we're looking at weight management and optimal health, that glycemic index is vitally important. And one of the ways we can help manage that is through nutritional supplementation. And that's a perfect way to help to manage or enhance that metabolic balance. The metabolic balance is how do you burn that fuel? In other words, what does your body need to be an effective and efficient fire within your belly to have good nutrients that then are sent out to the cells, given correct information so that you maintain your health. And then finally, remember, one of the aspects of health is that emotional aspect. You've got to have a relaxed mind in order to have balanced hormones. So we'll talk about that a little bit as well today. So let's start with our foods, right? So this is mostly about biochemistry today. Biochemistry is the chemistry of your biology. Calories are the energy currency of your body. All right. So that's like your Bitcoin. So as you start to eat your foods, what kind of, is it a high quality or is it a low quality calorie? It really makes a difference. They're not created equal. They're either going to be nutrient dense, that means full of nutrients, so that you can nourish your cells, or they're going to be empty, simply calories that your body's got to put somewhere. Guess where it's going to put it? in the fat tissue. You're either going to enhance your health with your food, or you're going to diminish your health with your food. And you're either going to signal your body to deposit fat, or you're not going to do that. So, calories, everybody wants to count their calories. Like, I only had so many calories today. You don't need to count your calories. They just need to count. In other words, they need to matter to your body on the cellular level. So I'm going to challenge you to do a 21-day system, program, whatever you want to call it. We have a program called Fit, Fun, and Fabulous at any age. It's just a lifestyle. And you don't have to do the program. This information I'm giving you today would be enough for you to get started. If you want more information, you can go to my website and get it. Anyway, so this is what your lifestyle is going to look like. We're going to wake up 15 minutes early for quiet time, because what did I just say? That a relaxed mind allows you to balance your stress hormones. I'm going to ask you and challenge you to exercise a minimum of 3 days a week. We're going to ask you to utilize anti-inflammatory foods and a shake. And my goodness, Nutritional Frontiers has so many amazing healthy shakes that you can even mix with different things. So if you want more energy, get some Pro Orange. If you really struggle to eat your vegetables, get some Pro Greens. If you're getting older, you're noticing your vision's becoming dim, get some Pro Purples. Put that in your anti-inflammatory drink and you're set for hours. Then when you start to get the munchies, I want you to have a snack, a nice healthy snack. We're going to talk about healthy fats. So maybe a couple of really healthy nuts. A lot of people go to almonds. I personally love pecans. So, that can be your choice. And I would like you to have them raw so they're not acidic, because remember, we're going for anti-inflammatory foods. Have your lunch as recommended. Give yourself a mid-afternoon snack if you're starting to get really hungry. Dinner, nice healthy dinner. And this is another challenge I want you to do. For your smaller meals, why don't you use a salad plate? The biggest difference that I notice, especially because I have my grandmother's plates with me, is the size of the plate. The size of the plate back in the day was not this huge mammoth plate. It's maybe 2/3 of the size of what we're filling our plates up now. So maybe choose a smaller plate, especially for dinner, because you're going to go to sleep on that. Drink a lot of water throughout the day. And I want you to have, very little, even better, no alcohol whatsoever. And if you do participate with some level of alcohol, maybe just limit yourself to Saturday night or Friday and Saturday night. But I can't do that every night, guys. It will absolutely blow your sugar. And it really is sort of poison for the body. So understanding the benefits that you're going to receive from doing this is important. So there are definite benefits from exercise, definite benefits from fat loss, definite benefits from bringing down those inflammatory indicators, from managing your stress, and from making better choices. That's what we really want to understand, because when you understand how these diseases that lead to disease happen, then you have power in your life. You can now say, you know what, I'm going to make better choices. I need to manage my stress. I hear inflammation's a bad thing and I'd love to lose weight. So I'm going to pick up on my exercise. Grab a friend and go for a brisk walk. Start somewhere, just anywhere. So the National Institute of Health, which I know recently has lost some credibility, but they're dead on with all of this, okay? They say and have found that obesity is a causative factor for, I want you to listen to these closely, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 3 diabetes, which a lot of people believe contribute to Alzheimer's, obviously type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease, congestive heart failure, stroke. Well over 80% of all cancers are lifestyle related. It creates poor reproductive health and osteoarthritis. So that's what obesity does. And the rate of obesity in America is out of control. So we just came out of this pandemic, right? And they kept talking about the comorbidities. And the people that were really dying from this terrible virus had comorbidities. What were those comorbidities? I'm going to read them again. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, coronary heart disease, congestive heart failure. If you had cancer, poor reproductive health. These are the people that were dying through the pandemic. So is this information important? Is it life-saving? You better believe it. And yet all of those things that occur actually are based in your lifestyle and your hormone balance and whether or not your liver is healthy and can, metabolize and filter all of these environmental pollutants that we live in. It's like a polluted soup that we live in every day. We need to manage that. It's also important that we stabilize our blood sugar, that we take care of our thyroid. So many women will come into me and they say, I went to my doctor. I have every symptom of thyroid issues. He tells me my thyroid numbers are fine. And he's right. Your thyroid number is fine because you're not there yet. It doesn't mean you aren't on the downward spiral that is destroying your thyroid. And it's usually because of what we call endocrine disruptors that are in our environment. Again, Nutritional Frontiers has amazing products that can help you manage those endocrine disruptors. They also have products, I take one every day, that will help support your thyroid. And so you won't have to worry about that issue. In fact, as I'm looking down these, hormone balance, liver toxicity, sugar instability, thyroid disruption, and stress, I promise you Nutritional Frontiers has a product for each and every one of those. And I know there's so many people that can help you with that. So now you have choice. Remember I said fat loss is really about saving your life. Now you have choice. You can choose the cure or a Band-Aid. All those pills that they give, they don't cure anything, guys. They are at times life-saving for an in-the-moment phenomenon, but they're not going to cure anything. What you need to look at is, how do I walk this disease or dis-ease that I have, this imbalance? How do I walk this back to a healthier state? That's what a healthy lifestyle will do for you. Because you got to ask the question, am I healing myself with this? Remember we said every food is either going to be health enhancing or health diminishing. Every thought is either going to be health enhancing or health diminishing. Every breath you take is going to enhance your health, or are you shallow breathing and stressing your body? These are all very important questions that you have power with. You don't want to just cover up symptoms, which is what, pharmaceuticals do. And some of them do it really well. And you say, oh, I don't feel it anymore. I used to laugh at my patients where they would come in and say, I get headaches, but if I take it starts with an A, then I feel much better. And I said, well, that's really not vitamin A. And all you're doing is covering up the symptom. The fire's still there. So we have to go in and put out the fire. I've been doing this work now for 36 years. Chiropractic has given me such a gift, not just for health, neurological health, but it's also given me such a firm understanding of the philosophy behind what creates healthy cells. And you can only be as healthy as your cells. So we talked about stress, right? So let's look at why we all need quiet time. Quiet time is going to lower the fat producing, I'll say it again, the fat producing stress hormone called cortisol. And it is also going to help reduce insulin resistance. Prolonged insulin resistance is what leads to type 2 diabetes. So many people who were susceptible during the pandemic had type 2 diabetes. They also had, insulin's a hormone, right? So that is a hormone imbalance. Managing your stress levels will help to promote health. Balancing your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system is so important. Now, we just came out of 2 years of this stuff, right? Where they've tried to keep everybody scared to death, where actually our bodies have a pretty effective immune system. We want to support it. And again, there are products that can do that. But your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous tone is so important. Your sympathetic nervous tone is what you've been living in for the last 2 years. Fight or flight. Oh my gosh, turn on the TV. How many people died? And they never told you what they really died of or with. Did they die from this virus, or did they die with this virus? Completely different conversations and reasons. So when you hear that all the time, this 24/7 news, and then you're trying to manage your life and go to work or work from home with kids running around, whatever the case might be, your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight nervous system is on overload. As that is on overload, like I tell my patients, it's like living your life being chased by a grizzly bear. Now, the grizzly bear might be your boss. The grizzly bear might be the television set, but it's living your life in constant panic. We have to bring up that parasympathetic nervous system. That is your healing, your relaxation, your digestive, your sleep. We have to get into that parasympathetic mode, and we have to learn how to balance that. Quiet time will do that for you. Whether you choose meditation or prayer or a beautiful walk in nature, that will bring up this parasympathetic nervous system so that when you go to bed at night, you actually sleep. So that when you sit down to have your meal, you actually digest your food. So that when your child calls you, you don't go, what? You go, what's up, hon? So it's a completely different space to live from. And I really invite you to start to maybe take a pen and pad and write down or put a check mark on the two areas, like sympathetic, parasympathetic, fight or flight, relaxation. Put checks when you check in with yourself and see where you are. I promise you, your fight or flight's going to be a much larger list for you. So quiet time will also help you create focused thoughts. How many of us are having memory problems right now, right? And it's not necessarily that you have a memory issue. It's probably more that you have 100 thoughts in your head at any given time. It's very hard to have focused thoughts whenever your poor brain is bouncing from the television to the children, to the work you're trying to do at home, to the laundry that's in the washing machine. Don't want to forget to put it in the dryer. And did I start dinner yet? This is how we're living our lives now. Quiet time will also enhance creative energy. So you can sit down with another piece of paper and just explore, what do you want to do with your life? Do you realize how fast life is going? The pandemic, over 2 years, we've been talking about this, and yet at the same time, it feels like a blur. It went so quickly while so slowly. So that's the deal. I'm going to be 65. I had to call Medicare the other day. I'm like, what do I do? I think I'm having to change insurance or something. And how did I get here? 65 years old. I feel 35, but that's how fast time went. So it enhances your creative energy. Get creative. What do you want to do? We have a program called the Creative Healer, because you're going to know by the end of this presentation that we are all healers. Everybody is a healer. What I'm teaching you right now is how you heal your own body, because your body is a self-regulating, self-healing system. So if you're interested, and it doesn't matter if you're a chiropractor, a massage therapist, a naturopath, an acupuncturist, or a mom or dad, if you're interested in that healing process, check out the Creative Healer. I think you're going to find it quite fascinating. The things that you can do that aren't going to require any kind of medical or chiropractic or acupuncture license, but things you can do every day to enhance your life, to enhance your space. One of the things we talk about are what are different colors? What color do you want to paint your walls? What kind of candles or essential oil do you want to have in your space? And what does that communicate to your body? There's so many things that you can do to enhance your wellness. And that's my goal in life, is to share that information. And then, of course, quiet time allows you to enter your life from that authentic space that is you. How many of us have lost touch with our authentic self? Who are you really? I said when we started, you're a spiritual being having a human experience. How's that human experience going? Not just how do you feel, but how do you feel on the inside? Who are you being in the world? Who are you being as a parent? Who are you being as a partner? Who are you being as a lover? And is that who you want to be? So it allows you to get quiet inside of you and say, wow, I really want to work at doing something better than that today. We have a journal available for you that you can actually do on your own computer. And it's at the end of the day, you put in your foods, obviously, because we want you to be responsible for that and aware of that. But then it also allows you to say, this is what I did really well today. This is what I want to improve for tomorrow. And then you sign the bottom, because you know what? What's done is done. When we're fortunate enough, blessed enough that God gives us another day on this beautiful planet, we need to embrace that and choose who do we want to be from that most authentic inner self. So we want to look now at something that if it were a pill, it would be malpractice not to prescribe it, right? And so what I'm talking about right now is exercise. So first we had quiet time, now we have exercise. Why is it so important? And again, look at this as if it were a pill, it would be malpractice not to prescribe it. It increases your basal metabolic rate. That's the rate at which you burn the calories that you are eating. It's going to increase your strength and endurance. It's going to increase your lean muscle mass. And yes, it's going to decrease your body fat percentage. It's going to change where you carry that tissue. So say you have belly fat in your belly, it's going to redistribute that so that you no longer have that. It's going to release it for fat burning. It's going to enhance your muscle creativity. So now you have a higher level of lean muscle mass, lower level of fat, and that's obviously going to improve your body shape. Isn't that why everybody wants to lose weight? They want to look better. But the thing about looking better, and this is a very important statement I'm going to make, we don't lose fat to regain our health. As we regain our health, our body sheds fat. I'm going to say that again. As you regain your health, your body loses fat. Your body shape will change. So it will also help us to improve our insulin sensitivity, which I just said leads to all the comorbidities that people suffering with. We're very susceptible to dying with this virus. It will lower your cholesterol levels. So they just did a huge study, guys, saying the statin drugs are not what they had thought and told us they were. So please look for that study. I believe it's in the Harvard Review. You want to reduce your stress levels through exercise because you completely change your biochemistry. Isn't that what we're talking about? Biochemistry today. It will help reduce your stress levels. It will literally change your hormonal levels. It's going to increase your bone density because new bone is only laid in relation to the amount of stress placed on the bone. We stress our bones by activating our muscles. As you contract a muscle, that pulls on the bone says, oh, I better get stronger for that, and it releases new bone matrix to the area. So if you're worried about osteoporosis, start exercising. And we'll talk about different types of exercises in a minute. It'll improve your quality of sleep, and it's going to increase your internal energy and vitality. The name of my office prior to selling was Health Pyramid Longevity and Vitality Center, because people want two things, right? We want to live a long time, but we want to have energy while we're doing it. So longevity and vitality, that's what this program is all about, living a long, vital life so that you can enjoy every day on this beautiful planet. And yet there's more. It's like a commercial, but wait, there's more. It's also going to elevate your mood naturally. What did I just say? It completely changes your hormones. And it's going to be a lot safer to do it that way through exercise than with some type of pharmaceutical mood elevator. It will improve your mental sharpness and concentration. Hence, you're going to say, oh, my memory's better. Actually, what's happening is you're just able to use it more effectively. It's going to improve your aerobic capacity, so you're going to get more oxygen to your cells. It will help to normalize your blood pressure. It will improve your resting heart rate, so your heart isn't having to work so hard. And for those of you who are always cold or always hot, it's going to help to normalize your internal temperature, which is a much more comfortable way to live. So let's look at exercise, because some people hear that as like something they don't want to do. But guys, you just saw all the benefits of it. Exercise is something that today we have so many choices. You know, back in the day, you went to a gym and you grunted. I just bought myself ropes, and unfortunately I can't think of the name, but when I do, I will make sure that we put that on Facebook for you. So if you just want to follow my page, I always give these kind of hints and tidbits and things like that. But these ropes are, you just swing them and swing them and swing them and turn, and it gets your waist and it gets your core and it keeps your shoulder range of motion going. They're the coolest things ever, and they're fun. It's like twirling because you're outside. You need space for this. It's fresh air. If you have a deck, I have a covered deck, so I just go outside and I go to town. It's amazing. My personal favorite exercise has always been weight resistance, and part of that is because of that enhanced bone matrix, reinventation. So if you have any kind of osteoporosis, some kind of resistant exercise, whether you use weights, whether you use bands, whatever it is you want to use, and you can use your own body weight as well, it will help to maintain that new healthy bone. Walking is great, especially a nice brisk walk. Any kind of interval training. So training from one thing to another. One day you lift weights. What I do is I lift weights. I use a Peloton. I ride my horse and I twirl my ropes. Like, I shake it up depending on the mood I'm in. Some days I have an amazing amount of energy. Other days I had a lot to do and I'm like, oh my gosh, what can I do? I'm going to use my rope because that just enhances my energy and keeps me going. And, if you're not somebody that does this naturally, then find a friend and motivate each other. It's always nice to have somebody to do things with. I'm a bit of a loner, but my mother is not. My mother has to have her friends. My mother, I think I'm allowed to say how old she is now. She's going to be 90 in her next birthday. And she plays tennis with her friends every Tuesday. They go out to lunch. Like, she's somebody that needs people. I'm somebody that sort of hangs out with animals. So whatever works for you, absolutely, there is an answer. And we talked about inflammation a little bit, right? So let's look at foods. Anti-inflammatory foods are the way to go. I have an entire list on my blog. If you go to my blog at drhartford.com, drhartford.com, go to the blog, put in inflammation, and you will get an entire list of anti-inflammatory foods. Most of them are in that picture right there. So this is the way you want to set up your plate. You want your protein to be about the size of the palm of your hand. My hand is smaller. I'm a woman, 130 pounds, 128 pounds, whatever I am. So I want my protein to be the size of the palm of my hand. I'm also a vegetarian, so I have to use different types of protein that maybe other people would. You want to have multiple colors like you're seeing in the picture. You want to use coconut oil over olive oil to cook with. You want to drink at least, I will beg you to do 2/3, but at least half of your body weight in purified water, some kind of purified water in ounces. And then, like I said before, please eat food the way God made it. One of the things I'm going to say is check your labels, but boy, the less labels, the better, right? Eat food the way God made it. He made you. He gave you every nut and every seed and every vegetable you'll ever need. And so take advantage of that. Food is beautiful. It's delicious. The more you get into your natural foods, the more your taste buds will wake up and you'll say, wow, I never tasted a papaya like that. Or zucchini's great. So there's so many things that you can do. And the coolest thing is, with the internet, you can find recipes for absolutely anything. And I also have recipes in my blog as well. So please feel free to visit there. So how are you going to begin? Like, how do we create this lifestyle? Well, like with anything, you have to have a plan, right? So plan menus. Get your kids involved. I have to say, my sister-in-law always had her kids involved in the kitchen. And those kids are amazing chefs now. I think they're all in the financial world, but they can cook anything and it's delicious. Try to be organized, make a list and stick to it. And coordinate your list with your store layout so you're not like running from, aisle way to aisle way. And also try to shop just on the outside aisles because that's where your natural whole foods will be found. And never, ever, you guys know this, right? Never shop when you're hungry. It's insane to shop when you're hungry. You're going to bring everything home. So what does your day look like? You're going to make a breakfast. You're going to have either a low glycemic index, that's your sugar index. Again, that's on my website as well. A low glycemic index cereal, nuts, or a breakfast shake. We just talked about the amazing shakes that Nutritional Frontiers has. You're going to have a snack, maybe an apple or some pear slices. At lunchtime, look at maybe soup and salad. Have some good seeds again. That's where your healthy oils are. And have another snack if you get hungry midday. And then at dinner, maybe a small piece of fish and some barley pilaf and some asparagus. We had people over for dinner last night, and my husband made salmon, and I made a beautiful black rice dish, and we had asparagus, and it was delicious. And nobody overate, and nobody felt like, they had just swallowed a ball of, fat or lard. So as you start to eat like this, you're going to notice that you're much lighter in your life. You're going to notice you're much lighter in your body as well. You can also do intermittent fasting, but that's not something I'm going to cover now. Right now, this is all about creating an outline. I want you to have a schedule of what you can do. Starting with this, getting your health under control, and then playing with intermittent fasting is something you can absolutely enjoy. All right, so what's your plate look like? Remember I said use my grandmother's plate. A smaller plate, 50% is going to be vegetables, 25% can be some type of a starchy vegetable, and then 25% is going to be some type of protein, healthy protein source, poultry, fish, beans, something healthy. And then we have to have our healthy fats, guys. If you're not eating healthy fats, your body is not going to release the fat it's currently storing. So the only way to start to metabolize those fats is for the body to know it's getting healthy fat. And we talked about coconut oil and olive oil, but also our nuts and our legumes have healthy fats as well. So make sure that that becomes part of your everyday diet. And of course, there are also supplements, nutrients that will help you to maintain your healthy fat levels. I do seeds because I am a vegetarian, and I know Nutritional Frontiers has amazing fish oil as well. You're going to want to have 2 to 4 grams a day. That's what's recommended. And guys, what's really cool about the fats, the healthy fats, is that it's going to make your hair, skin, and nails look amazing. In fact, Nutritional Frontiers just came out with a new product called Hair, Skin, and Nails. So if you're struggling in that area, ladies, I know a lot of us feel like our hair gets thin as we get older. We think it's just our thyroid. Well, sometimes it can be a nutrient imbalance as well. So make sure that you're getting the necessary nutrients so that we can have that beautiful skin, luscious hair, and our nails can be strong. So this magnesium, Mag Complete, what a great product. Magnesium is one of the most underutilized, underdiscussed nutrients out there. Everybody worries about calcium in their bones, and there's a lot of new research about that too, but I know I'm getting short on time. Magnesium is important for bones, obviously. It has to balance with calcium, but really shouldn't be taken at the same time. It's going to become depleted with stress. I'm going to say that again. Remember that grizzly bear boss? Remember the 20 things going on because you're still working from home? Magnesium becomes depleted with stress. It must be present in a 2-to-1 ratio with calcium so that you can actually maintain healthy bones. It's going to support the health of your brain. Remember, we were talking about memory. It's going to normalize bowel function. One of the most common things, especially women come to me for, is constipation. And it's because of the stress in their lives and their magnesium is low and their bowels aren't functioning properly. It's going to help move nutrients across the cell membrane. So, and this is one of the problems with blood work. Blood work tells you what's in your blood. We need to know what's in your cell. We need to move those nutrients through the cell wall into the center of the cell. That's what magnesium will help that to do. And then it's going to enhance your mood, right? Who doesn't want that? So Mag Complete, magnesium is just, I take it every single night. And I live on a farm. So I have this beautiful retreat center that I have the great honor to live on. I take care of my horses and my dogs. I'm semi-retired now. We run retreats. Like my stress levels is low as it's ever been. And I still take magnesium every night because I know the benefits of that. So please make sure that you are supplementing that because as I said, day-to-day stress will cause that to be diminished greatly and you cannot be healthy without magnesium. So let's bring it all together. We already talked about how we're going to wake up in the morning and give ourselves an extra 15 minutes of quiet time. Enjoy, relax. I've got a meditation YouTube that you can go to that just walks you through the various sort of areas in your body and some of the belief systems that are associated with it and some of the things we have to let go of. There's something called Ho'oponopono, which is exactly how it sounds. It's a Hawaiian method for just releasing any kind of guilt, releasing any kind of anger, making sure that we can forgive, the most important thing in the world. So give yourself 15 minutes of anything. It doesn't have to be my CD or my YouTube. It can be anybody's. Just go to relaxation music or relaxation meditation. If possible, exercise immediately following your quiet time. The reason for that is your body's in a great place. You don't have tight muscles that you're going to create further imbalance with. And try to do at least 30 minutes during the day. So just, picture this, as Ma says on, the Golden Girls. Picture this. You get up a little bit earlier, the rest of the house is quiet, you get 15 minutes quiet time, you walk out your door, you do a brisk walk, you come back in, everybody's starting to stir. What kind of a beginning is that? Amazing, right? Then you help everybody do what they have to do because that's what mothers do. If you're a single dad, you're doing it as well. You're going to prepare your breakfast shake. You're going to take a healthy fat with that because you do want your fats earlier in the morning, and maybe 2 Trimag. It's going to move those nutrients right across that cell wall that you're getting in your healthy shake. You're going to follow those meals with snacks, as we previously talked about. If you'd like a journal, it's part of the Fit, Fun, and Fabulous program. Just go under programs on my website. And I'd love for you to be able to drink 2/3 of your body weight in ounces of purified water. And you don't have to go crazy for this. At least get it out of the refrigerator filter. Like, just have some kind of a purification process for your water. If you can do 2/3, that's great. At minimum, do half your body weight in ounces. So remember I said earlier that we're all healers, and that's why I created the program for healers called the Creative Healer, because there's so many creative things you can do. If you're a practitioner of some sort, a licensed practitioner, it teaches you how to integrate your practice so that you can include the 5 aspects of health: the neurological, the emotional, the bioenergetic, and the biochemical. And remember, we're putting that on a basis spiritual. So we talk about that as well. Your connection to the all that is, your connection to that, thing that's bigger than you, your connection to God, if I can say that these days, is so important. And that's really what made your body. It maintains your body. It keeps you striving for health every day. Your body is a self-regulating, self-healing organism. And it's that, if you weigh a body before the person dies and you weigh the body after the person passes, it weighs the same, right? So what left? That's what we're speaking to. That's what keeps you alive. That's what made you, maintains you, and keeps you striving for health. That's the energy that heals your child's cut when they fall. That's the energy that allows you to recover from a terrible accident. And guys, nature doesn't need any help. Nature knows exactly what she's doing. She just doesn't want any interference. Stop interfering with her through negative thoughts, negative food, a slug lifestyle where you're not moving your lymphatic system. You're not helping your circulatory system. Simply give your body what it needs to thrive, and it will give you a healthy, high energy life, which is what everybody says they want. And then finally, teach your kids through example. I used to just literally, it would break my heart when people come into the office, and I had quite a large family practice. Sorry, that's my dog. I had quite a large, Carlos, here. I had a large family practice, and the kids would come in and they would say, let's go to McDonald's. I'm going to let my dog out. I'm going to apologize. One sec. You're okay. You're okay. And they would do this after they just got their chiropractic adjustment. I would be like, no, don't do that. Teach your children through example. If you're healthy, they will be healthy. If you eat healthy foods, there's nothing else for them to eat. Remember the old days of you eat what the posh dishes up? That's what you want to do for them. And you're doing it for them, not to them, for them. You're teaching them how to maintain a healthy lifestyle, which they'll then teach your grandchildren. So guys, we covered a lot. Remember I said we're talking about the creative healer. We want you to be a creative healer. We want you to take care of your children in a way that they carry through their life and then take care of their own children that way. We want you to understand the healing process so you're not relying on a doctor. I don't even want my patients relying on me. As I said, I'm semi-retired. I only see patients one day a week, and they're the patients I've been seeing for 35 years. And it's so funny because I did retire and they found me on my farm and said, no, you still need to take care of us. So I just do one day a week, and we do mostly this integrative stuff. You know, we're balancing the biochemistry, and I've been working with Jamie from Nutritional Frontiers for probably almost 30 years. We balance their biochemistry. We work on anything emotional that's difficult for them. We all have difficult times in our lives. And in the Creative Healer program, we go through a lot of that, of what you can do at your house, for yourself, for your children during those tough times. And when you feel you need outside help, there's amazing doctors that do neuroemotional technique, or NET, right here in Pittsburgh. You can find them, and you can find them right throughout the world. You know, it's an amazing program. Neuroemotional technique is phenomenal. There's also TBM, total body modification, a technique that works on everything. And remember, as natural healers, we're not curing anything. So let's be clear. Medicine is a diagnosis and treatment of disease. Natural healing is supporting the body so it can heal itself. It's a whole different approach. I don't care which of those comorbidities you have. I know that if you start a healthy lifestyle, those parameters will change. If you then add targeted nutrients, those parameters will change even greater. So it gives you choice. It gives you power. Am I saying you're never going to need a medical doctor? Heck no, I'm married to one. I'm married to a spine surgeon, and I'm a chiropractor. So if we can find common ground, everyone can find common ground. But, you know, talk to your doctor. Have a natural health care provider. Find an integrated chiropractor. Find an acupuncturist, a massage therapist. Allow these people to contribute. In other words, get a natural health care team that if, heaven forbid, you ever need a medical team, they're right there in their corner with you. There are times, I just got a horrible call the other night. A friend of mine was in a car accident. He doesn't need me right now. He needs to go to the hospital and be taken care of. And when he's done with the hospital, then he's going to come to me. And then I'm going to look at what did they have to do. If they had to do anything, use any medications that might have stressed his liver, we'll support that then. If there are any broken bones, I will give him supplementation to help mend those bones. If there are emotional issues from the trauma of the accident, then I'll utilize neuroemotional technique to help balance that for him. So we all work together. In a medical emergency, you need a medical doctor. In a lifestyle challenge, you need a lifestyle doctor. You need a natural practitioner that will support you right throughout your life. So I hope that you got some information today that you can share with your family, share with your friends. And guys, thank you so much for spending this time with me. Have a wonderful day.
Kathleen, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
Okay, great. Good, good. Oh, that was awesome. So a couple of things I took out of that, and I want to ask you. First of all, the new formula is called Beauty Complete. The hair,
Beauty
skin, and nails
Complete.
formula.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Beauty
you.
Complete, and it is amazing. It's even fixing Jamie's nails, so that's saying something.
That's saying something for sure.
He said it's fixing his skin too. Hair, I don't know, but
that's harder.
But yeah, we're getting a lot of great results on that. But you touched a little bit on intermittent fasting, and I it's something that I do on a regular basis, usually like the weekdays. I don't
Yep.
do it on the weekends, but I do it on the weekdays. But people they don't understand that. They think that you're skipping breakfast, but you're really not. It's
Yes.
just when you have your breakfast, right?
Yes.
And are you're a fan of intermittent fasting, right?
Yeah, I do exactly exactly what you just said. I intermittent fast during the week, and for me it works better because when you have the kind of animals and property I have, I'm not doing much in the morning except taking care of them. So it works much better. And then I have it's usually a 6 hour window that I will eat during. And
Mhm.
that works beautifully for me. So I'll usually start right around noon, and
Yeah.
then I'll have my dinner right around 6.
Hmm. Yeah,
And then I'll
that's
have a snack
exactly.
in between.
Uh-huh. I maybe go a little later. I usually it's an 8 hour window for me, but it seems to it seems to work, especially once you get into the habit of doing it. And then
Absolutely.
it's the first couple of days might be tough, but we're so conditioned to think we have to have that breakfast first thing in the morning, and the three, and that's all been good marketing by the cereal industry.
Yeah,
That's me.
right. Oh Lord, yeah.
But the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, just for quickly, is are you familiar with the Oligo scan?
No, I'm not. Tell me about that.
Oh, okay. Because when you were talking about, what's in the blood and then what's in the cells, the
Yep.
difference, and that's basically tissue density as well.
Mm-hmm.
Toxins reside in tissues, right? Not in the bloodstream. So the Oligo scan is something we do here now at the World of Wellness, and um, it's a spectrophotography. So it's a photograph of light. It photographs light, and they were able. This device and the program has been able to create an algorithm on how 15 heavy metals, 21 minerals, and 7 vitamins absorb light. So they have that, and then
Yeah.
when they little handheld device where you measure on your palm the tissue density of these chemicals, and it measures it against what should be normal. So it gives us a way to actually show toxicity of heavy metals in the tissue, not necessarily in the blood. Or years ago they did hair analysis, right?
Right,
But
right.
all that's different than what's in the tissues. And you talked about magnesium. You need that magnesium in your cells, in your tissues. And it's amazing how we see people with low levels, and they think they're doing well with what they're taking, but they're not absorbing it. And
Exactly.
and a lot of the latest information on vitamin D is that you need magnesium to absorb that as well. So,
Yeah.
hey, I just wanted to see if you had known about it, because we're getting some really great readings on that.
It's also funny because Einstein said there is no matter, only light and energy. So
Yes,
it
only
sounds
light
like,
and energy.
it's starting to be used for diagnostic purposes as well. No, I
Yeah.
definitely like to know more about that. I will check that out. And
Okay.
I think it's interesting because most women who came into my practice for so many years, they would be depressed and constipated, right?
Yes.
And you put them on, and they're taking supplements, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't know what else to do, and give
Right.
them magnesium and everything starts to work so much better. So it's great that you have a way to quantify that now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great device. So look into that a little more. I can talk to you more about that offline. But it was a pleasure having you. Always a pleasure having you on. And we didn't even get into any of the
I know.
the heavy metaphysical stuff, and source energy and all that good stuff.
Well, and
But
the Creative Healer program has a module with 2 presentations with just that. So maybe we'll do that one
oh,
day.
great. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. I still want to learn how to ride a horse, so I got to come up. See.
You don't want to ride my horses. There are much easier horses to ride.
Oh, okay. I want to do the
Yeah.
cowboy style. Okay. But thanks,
Yeah.
Kathleen. Thanks for taking time out. We really appreciate it, and it's a great amount of information, but it was all very vital. And I'm sure we'll see you again real soon.
Thanks so much, Joe. You have a great day.